His Excellency and our two ministers visiting Kato village. Thank you very much. Please remain standing for the. You may take your seats. Yeah. His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali, Minister of Health Honorable Dr. Frank Anthony, Minister of Amerindian Affairs Honorable Pauline Sukai, the Permanent Secretary, Health, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Amerindian Affairs, the Regional Chairman, the REO Region 8 and Region 9, Tusha of Kato and the neighboring communities, visiting teams from the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of Amerindian Affairs, residents, visitors, a pleasant morning to you all. I would like to invite the Tusha of Kato to give her welcoming remarks.
His Excellency Dr. Irfan Ali, Honorable Minister of Health Dr. Frank Anthony, Honorable Minister of Amerindian Affairs Pauline Sukai, other esteemed guests, residents of Kato, good morning and welcome. It is with great honor and joy that we gather here today to extend a warm welcome to our esteemed President, His Excellency Dr. Irfan Ali. Your presence in our small, vibrant community signifies a deep commitment to the development and well-being of our region, and we are truly grateful for the dedication. Today marks a significant milestone for Kato and the sub-district, addressing long-standing healthcare needs. The establishment of a regional hospital in Kato represents an investment in our people, ensuring that everyone has access to quality medical care. We are eager to see the positive changes that the new hospital will bring, and are committed to working alongside you to ensure the continued development of our beloved community and region. Once again, we welcome you, Mr. President, to Kato. We hope you have a fruitful and enjoyable visit. Thank you.
Thank you, Master of Ceremony. Good morning, all. Kato, good morning. I'm not hearing you. Parmakatay, Bamboo Creek, Taruka. I'm not hearing you. I'm not getting the energy here. Good morning once again. Okay, thank you. His Excellency, Honorable President of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana, Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali, Honorable Minister, Dr. Frank Anthony, Minister of Health, Honorable Minister Pauline Sukai, Minister of Amerindian Affairs, special invitees, government officials, residents of Kato and surrounding villages. I am delighted to welcome you to this special occasion. Today, I extend to the Honorable President, Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali, and team a warm welcome to the mountainous Pacaraima district. We are gathered here to witness the turning of SOD for the construction of a state-of-the-art hospital in Kato, another big and important achievement in our region. With a grateful heart, we thank the government led by Dr. Mohamed Irfan Ali and Cabinet for the development we are experiencing in our region. And may I remind you that these developments are not only taking place in our region, but throughout our country. Honorable President, Dr. Irfan Ali, you showed the world that your desire is that all Guyanese have a proper health care facility regardless where they are located in the country. On behalf of the Regional Democratic Council of the Pataro-Sipooni region, long live the People Progressive Party. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Regional Chair. At this time, I would like to invite our Honorable Minister, Minister of Amerindian Affairs, Pauline Sukai. Please give her a round of applause.
Thank you, Ariel, our chairperson for today's event, a very important event. To the head table, His Excellency, I want to welcome you and your entire team, or your entourage. Minister Frank Anthony, you and your team, the regional chairman, the Tushao, the regional officers who support the development of Region 8, and you, most importantly, the beneficiary of today's turning of the sod, a brand new modern hospital. That's the event we're here to do. This is the highlight of our activity. So, as the speaker before me has already noted, our government, the People's Progressive Party civic government, continues to break the ceiling, to work outside the commitment they have made in our manifesto in all sectors. We've seen it in health, education, infrastructure. We've seen it in tourism, agriculture, and you name it. All across the country, our government has been increasing investment, expanding benefits, and making impactful projects and programs that are helpful to the betterment of the entire country. And that speaks to the policy and the philosophy of our president, who has moved a one people, one nation, one destiny motto to one where he wants to make sure that that motto translates into action under what we call the One Guyana, where everyone will benefit from the resources and the revenues of this country, and no one will be left behind. So it translates smoothly into that, and we need the cooperation of everyone. We need the cooperation of every region, Region 1, Region 2, Region 3, Region 4, Region 5, Region 6, Region 7, and of course Region 8, 9, and 10. If we all unite towards providing the contribution to our country's development, Guyana will not only be the fastest growing economy, but it will be the country that has transformed and transitioned the fastest as it relates to a modern, beautiful country where our people can enjoy what Guyana has to offer us through our own hard work and contribution. With respect to Amerindian affairs, many of you would know the history of our people. We were the first people who arrived in this beautiful country. We continue to have priority attention placed on us and our development and our identity and culture from the People's Progressive Party civic government. I want to remind all of us that our country has so much credit that we sometimes forget to tell our story, and we allow others to want to overtake the narrative which we should be promoting. It is Guyana, a small country, that first appointed a minister of Amerindian Affairs and established a Ministry of Amerindian Affairs to ensure that our first people, that the priority in development, ensure that we engage them, we consult them, and that they benefit from the government, which in 1992 was the victorious party which established the People's Progressive Party civic government. It is our country and our government that also ensure that their identity and culture was not lost. Even though we are integrating, even though we are working together, we wanted to make sure that the ethnic group, the Amerindians, that their identity was respected, that we would make it significant for them to find their place, their space in our country. And we did that. His Excellency at the time was Dr. Chedi Jagan. And what he did, he requested of the Amerindian groups of the 1992-1994 period to come up with a month in which they can provide the highlights of the indigenous people, our first people, and their contribution to this country. And September was chosen. It is Guyana, small Guyana, under the leadership of the People's Progressive Party, civic, that also ensure that the pledge, the post-independence pledge and commitment that land for Amerindians will be secure, that their land tenure will be addressed. It is the People's Progressive Party civic that continues today to ensure that our land titles, that our land surveys are demarcated, and that we can stand proud as a people with possession that no other ethnic group in this country can boast of. Today, more than 16% of Guyana land mass is privately owned by us, the first people. These are things that we have to be proud of. These are development issues and challenges that many countries across the world is grappling with. And as a small country led by the People's Progressive Party, we have blazed the trail as an example of how our first people can be treated, respected, accepted, and integrated into this melting pot of diversity in this very beautiful land of ours. It is Guyana, where the head of state, where the ministers have found the time within their schedule. They have scheduled it. It's not finding the time. It's exercising and ensuring that time is put aside for the executive of this government to sit with Amerindian leaders, to listen to them, to consult with them, to engage them, negotiate with them, and to ensure that at the end of 1 week session of engagement with the Amerindian leaders, that the commitments made at those forum and those sessions are implemented. And he do not do it all by himself. He engages the entire sectorial ministries. The entire government is hyped to ensure that our first people needs and challenges are beheld and delivered. And therefore, I want to say to His Excellency that the trend and the actions of the People's Progressive Party civic has made impactful changes in the lives of Amerindians. And I'm sure as I travel across Region 8, many times over, many of the villages will express their support for the People's Progressive Party civic. And I want to draw to the attention of His Excellency and those administrators of our government that when I go across the region and the villages, the people can identify what government has done for them. And I want to draw to the attention of all of us again that it was a mere 9 years ago when another government served between 2015 to 2020. The North Pacaraima, especially as part of Guyana, was the most hurt. We were limping. I remember Tussening, the former Tushau, when we were in opposition. I used to come to the RDC meetings. I made it a duty to be at those meetings. At those times, there was one positive thing about that then, and I've been pushing for it to happen again, is that when there are RDC meetings, all the villages, leaders should be present. But in those days, they used to be, and it helped me in my work then, because I was able to meet with the leaders. But I recall that when they come to the meeting, they were walking. Tussening Tushau, he said to me, they used to call me minister in the time, even though I was not the minister. They would say, minister, it's 6 hours I had to walk to come to this meeting. I said, our government will change that when you come. As soon as we arrived into office in 2020, we were able to ensure that the investment made by the People's Progressive Party Civic energized the transportation service to indigenous villages in this sub-district. All the districts, all the villages have ATVs. They have now gone beyond ATVs. Some of them have pickup, lorries, and you name it. They are now mobile once more, because when we left them in 2015, they were mobile. Now we have done beyond that. We are working within the parameters of the government and His Excellency policies. That is food security, energy security, and ensuring that all sectors are enhanced, including infrastructure. Just a mere 3 weeks ago, myself and Minister of Public Works were in the region, and we paid out to Region 8 $315 million $315 million just for road maintenance by the villages. Community participation. And I must say that I have hinted to His Excellency and to all other ministers that when you follow the road maintenance work put out by the people of the North Pacaraima, there's no machinery matching it. Last night we traveled to Trail because I wanted to also look at what they were doing within the last 3 weeks with the monies that we paid out. And you can see the pickaxe, the shovel, that it is aligned according to how they would like their road to be. Sometimes I am very proud of you who work on those road projects. For example, Bashville. When Bashville is working, it's the young men, the young women, the old women, the able-bodied men. Everyone goes out, a whole drove of them every day, because the road is important for them to receive goods and even services when the airlines can't be working as frequently. We know that doesn't happen here very frequently. The road is the critical link to their lifestyle. And so you have done well. In fact, we would like to ensure that our government provide the best health care. And you may already know from various speeches that we've made over the period in many villages that our government has been investing in telemedicine in the hinterland, in the most remote parts of our country, to ensure that we close the gap. The gaps cannot be closed immediately. We have to work. We have to put the effort in as a government. And I want to applaud Dr. Frank Anthony also, because in the last announcement last year, it was 16 telemedicine, and now it's what, 26? 53 telemedicine facilities that are scattered across our hinterland, supporting the healthcare service to Amerindians. And this is what any government who is sitting in the seat at the leadership of any country must ensure that they deliver on their promises. And our government has, as the president usually says, that we have gone beyond the manifesto promises. In terms of youth, I barely mentioned while we were talking in an engagement with the youth earlier, before we started the session, that the CSO was a destroyed program. they failed to continue a very good initiative as soon as we came back. That was a commitment made by the party, the People's Progressive Party Civic, in its campaign, that we will reestablish the CSOs. More than 1,756 CSOs were dismissed under the APNU AFC. Today, we have 2,700 CSO back on the job. They are supporting community and village development. In fact, I sometimes caution the village councils that don't allow our CSO to only be cleaning gangs, but they are expected to support the schools, the health centers, be rangers in those areas that are mining, the forestry, the environment, enhancing of the environment, in culture, in sports, etc. I am very pleased that we have stood to our commitment over the last 4 years to introduce the training component of the CSOs. And we've done that. We've trained many young CSOs in garment construction, tourism, which is one of the key pillars of our economy that is being promoted by our government. When everything leaves us, the gold and the diamonds and the extractive industry begin to wither away, it is the sustainable sectors like tourism and agriculture that needs to be harnessed now and to make stable so that we can have a prosperous future. And so tourism in this area have been supported. In fact, in Koh Phangan, they have discovered, I wouldn't say discovered, they have known it, but the Ministry of Amerindian Affairs, and by extension, the government of Guyana has invested resources to make that falls popular. Today, it is hitting the international touristic environment, and many people are asking about it. Tarsi, she is a regional council. She's heading the tourism venture. We have given her the youths, the ATV. We have given them finances to enhance the environment, to clean up, to put cabins. This year, they are going to start the rebuilding of a guest house. And so it is a package. It's product development. Currently, it's in its raw stage. So the product development, which is a tourism product development, can be replicated, is being replicated across Guyana, not only in the hinterland communities, but the tourism ministry is focusing also in the hinterland as it relates to tourism. So we have a lot of work to do from the government side to support people's initiative, community initiative, and we have to engage them in that. This is a small country with big dreams by a president who is demonstrating every day that he is a man of the people. He walks the walks and he talks the talk. In fact, he reminds us in cabinet that I hardly sleep. I sleep less than 3 hours a day. And therefore, I can tell you the same thing. When we are out in the fields here, my team comes in, Mr. President, sometimes at 12 o'clock in the night, and we get up at 6 in the morning to head out to order. And would like other sectors to take a lead in that too, because their service is critical in this region. And I'm talking about my own colleagues, not critically, but to demonstrate how important government service, making positive, impactful, positive impact on the lives of the people is necessary. As a government, we would like to stay in office for a very long time. And I want to assure the president that the people of the North Pacoima has been loyal, has been faithful, but we have some more work to be done. And I'm very pleased that he has come to Kato to turn the sod of a very significant event in the history of Region 8. I know our former Prime Minister, Mr. President, Prime Minister Sam Hines has always spoken about, let's have a University of Guyana place in here. Kato too. But that was his dream. We don't know what our future holds. But I can tell you, this president has allowed university education to come right in your village under the Gold Scholarship. And if we pay attention and we listen to the opportunities being demonstrated by those who are responsible for bringing opportunities to the villages, to the young people, you will know you'll have to place your priority rightly. And again, I want to sound this to the young people. Dedicate your energies to changing your life to a better one, not in tandem, but together with the policies and programs and the projects that our government are investing in. And so instead of investing in the tin stuff, I like to say that is something I've said, invest in data. Today, the Prime Minister's office is working to ensure by the end of this year that almost, if not 100% of our hinterland communities will have high-speed internet. And that is a telling achievement, because you can study when May arrives next year, when Gold Scholarship entry and is being opened up for new entries. I want to ask you to enter, to apply, because even though it's one more year, our government will be here for many more terms, and you need to start now. Don't wait. Start now, focusing on developing yourselves too. Focus on the opportunity that abounds and pay some attention to it. Mr. President, Region 8 is a very beautiful country. Our people work very hard. And we are very pleased with the plans that I've heard that we will continue to link the Region 9 to Region 8. And that project is already on stream. And we are assured that the roads in these parts will also be provided with attention. I want to allude to the fact that air travel for hinterland communities have not been left out. In fact, Paramakatoy is now upgrading their airstrip. The contractors have arrived and they will begin the work very soon. Where Paramakatoy airstrip is going to be one of the major landing strips in this region. There are other areas that will need to be given attention to, and they are going to be on our program. I know that many of the villages have always said they want airstrips because when there's an emergency and the transportation is an ATV to bring a sick or emergency out, it's really, really difficult. But yes, Guyana is developing. Our country is balancing. We have a better financial health. And I can rest assured that our government, the People's Progressive Party civic government, will not only be directing additional resources on the coast, but more resources will be invested in the hinterland communities. We have a job of closing the gap. And my president, your president, is showing that he has begun the work to close the gap, not only in health, but education. You will hear more of that from His Excellency, I suppose, but I want to assure you, the people of North Pacaraimans and Region 8 as a whole, that Guyana is on the move, and Region 8 will not be left behind, because that is a mantra of the People's Progressive Party Civic, that we are going to ensure that Guyana develop for the benefit of all, and that the One Guyana philosophy will be realized. I want to thank all of you for coming. I want to thank all those engaged in ensuring that this new hospital, which will be built here, that we will expect that it will be completed on time, and the energies of this region will have to complement this huge investment that will help healthcare system in the North Pacaraimans. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Minister Pauline Sukai. Residents, special invitees, I hope that you're not only hearing but listening and taking in the information that is being delivered to you, and that you work on it as we continue to work along with the People's Progressive Party Civic in the future. At this time, I would like to invite the Honorable Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, to give his remarks.
Thank you very much, Daisy. His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali, President of our country, my colleague, Minister Sukai, Chairman of this region, Tushao of Kato, the REO of the region, and all the regional officials who are here, and of course, more importantly, the residents of Kato and the surrounding communities. I'm extremely happy to be with you this morning because this is really a historic moment, not just for your community, but for all of Guyana. Today, we are going to be part of making history, but also transforming what health looks like in this region. So I want to give yourself a big round of applause. You know, not just so long ago, in 2019, when we look back, what you had for healthcare here, what was happening? It was not much. And when we look across the region, I recall that with the hospital that you had, not this one here, the one at Madhya, while we were calling it a hospital, we were not able to do any surgeries at that hospital. So I'm not sure how we can say that it's a hospital if it was only doing primary healthcare services, basically outpatient clinics. A few patients were being admitted, but nothing serious could have been done for these patients. And then think about just a couple of years after, that we were able, for the first time in the history of this region, we were able to put in an operating theater at Madhya. And because we were able to put in that operating theater, we were able to buy the equipment, we then start seeing that we had the capability of now doing surgeries at Madhya. And over the last year or so, we have been able to do about 46 surgeries for people who are living in Madhya and the surrounding communities. And that have saved them a lot of money, traveling to Georgetown, staying out there, with some relative going with them. It would save them a lot of money. So 46 surgeries were done over the last year since this operating theater has been in place. We have also been able now to offer what we call diagnostic services, meaning that people who had to get an ultrasound, that we are able now to do it in that regional hospital. And for the first time, we also have an upgraded laboratory. So blood tests and other things that we needed to do, we were able to do it at the hospital. Before that, we had to send these samples out to Georgetown. And then they would run the tests in Georgetown and try to send back the results to the doctors in the region. And of course, that took a lot of time. So the investments that we have made in that regional hospital is paying off. And I just want you to think about this, because in 2019 and in the years prior to 2019 up to 2015, not much investment was made in this region in the healthcare sector. The last government used to talk a lot, the APNU AFC government. They like to come into communities. They used to promise people all kinds of things. And I recall the then President Granger used to say to people that they want to have equity, but they were only talking about equity. They never implemented programs that can bring equity. And let me give you an example. Before 2019 and between 2015 and 2019, what did they actually did for health in this region? Not much. And when we came in 2020, we started during those COVID years to start making investments in health. And for the last half of 2020, we were able to put in at least $22.7 million for the region. And then in 2021, we increased that to $72 million for the health sector in this region. By 2022, we increased that even further to $90 million in this region. And then in 2023, we added $365.6 million for this region. And these are monies that came directly from the Ministry of Health centrally to the region. And then this year, 2024, we gave from the central ministry to the region $508 million. This did not include the monies that were put in the regional budget for health. That is how much money we have invested in this region. And you might say, well, okay, y'all putting in all this money, what it is that we are getting for this money. And let's take what we have been doing in 2024. You know, one of the big challenges that we have is that people have to travel from far distances to come to a health facility. And let's say if someone is pregnant and they had to come to a facility, let's say this cottage hospital, it would be very challenging, because if you're pregnant and you leave when you're going into labor, more than likely, by the time you get to the hospital, you'll probably deliver the baby en route to the hospital. So one of the things that we've been doing is building maternal waiting homes so that these pregnant women can come before they go into labor, wait in these waiting homes, and then when they go into labor, they come to the hospital and can deliver their babies safely. We have tried this in Region 9. It's working very well for us in Region 9. It's working well for us in Region 1. And we want to make sure that at every hospital that we have in this region, so here at Kato, at Paramakatoy, and of course at Madhya, that we can have maternal waiting homes. And this year, we have invested $40 million to ensure that we have a good maternal waiting home at Madhya. We have built this waiting home, and we are now going to equip it and make sure that it is functional so that the pregnant women of this area can benefit from the services of this waiting home. What else have we done with this money? We have also looked at how we can house our staff, and we have been building staffing quarters at many of our health posts and health centers. So we have staffing quarters now that we have done at Maikwak. We have spent $13.5 million at Maikwak for staffing quarters. And at Madhya, we have spent $14 million for one set of staffing quarters that are away from the hospital and another set that are in around the airport area. We spent another $5 million. So in all, for staffing quarters in Madhya, for this year, we would have spent $19 million. What about other things? Upgrading of health posts and so forth. At Kuribrung, we have spent $13.5 million upgrading the health post there so that people can have better facilities when they come to the health posts. We have done the same for Brian Sucre Junction. Our health post is now operational because we have improved it. We have done the same for Itabak. We have done some improvement there, spending $4 million. And we know, because yesterday we were in that community, and one of the things that they have requested is for us to upgrade them, moving them from a health post now into a health center. And His Excellency, the President, has agreed for us to do this extension, to move that facility from a health post into a health center. So let's give the President a big round of applause for agreeing to do this. We have improved the facility that we have at Hillfoot, and we have spent $4 million to do that. At Kurukubaru, another $4.5 million was spent to upgrade that facility. At Paramakatoy, apart from making that hospital a smart hospital, we have improved it this year again by adding another $4 million to improve the facilities that we have there. At Chumachumari, we have spent another $3 million to improve the facility. So these are big improvements that we're making, and it's making an impact because when people come there, they can get better facilities from which to work and also to get health care. This region, before 2019, you had 15 health posts in the region. This PPP civic government would have added an additional 4 more new facilities, so you now have 19 facilities that are operational and functional in this region. For the 4 health centers, and now we are upgrading Itabak, so you will have 5 health centers, and this would improve the level of services that are being delivered. And the 3 hospitals that you have, Paramakatoy, this Cottage Hospital, and Madhya, we are spending lots of monies to upgrade them. At Madhya, apart from all the improvements that we would have done, adding x-rays, looking at improving the inpatient facilities, the accident and emergency, and so forth, we have also this year been able to rewire the entire hospital, and we are spending $40 million on that. And we have added a simulation center that is going to be used for training, and that is going to cost $45 million for this new simulation center. And you might say, what is a simulation center? But because now we want to do a lot of training for nurses and health assistants, that by doing the online training, when they finish the online component, then we bring them in to these simulation centers so that they can have the practical experience. And that is why we have invested $45 million to make sure that we can do the practicals right in this region. Now, one of the decisions that this government has taken is that at our primary healthcare facilities, we want to ensure that at each one of our primary healthcare facilities, we can deliver at least 119 different interventions. And that's a lot of interventions. But in some cases, our community health workers are not trained to do all of them. So that is why we have introduced telemedicine into the region. And while we have currently 53 sites across the country, in this region alone, we have 11 telemedicine sites. And you have, it's not only used for us to do teleconsultation, where the community health worker can call up a doctor and have a consultation with that doctor so that they can improve the care for that patient. But we can now use this telemedicine operation. So in case there is an emergency, you can now use the telemedicine system to call for emergency services. In many cases, if you want to have a medevac, in the past it was challenging because sometimes you can't make radio contact with the people in Georgetown to organize the medevac. But with this telehealth system, it is more reliable. Why is it more reliable? Because you can come to the facilities where we have telemedicine, and when they start up the system, it is using Starlink. So you go up, the message is relayed to a satellite, and then that's downloaded in Georgetown, and it is more reliable. And so you can talk to that person instantaneously, and they would be able to arrange a medevac if that is necessary. So that's another way in which we have been using this telemedicine system. But more importantly, we are using this telemedicine system to train people. And in your region, we want to train a lot of persons. Here in this area, in Kato, you have a telemedicine system that is at the Kato Hospital. But it's underutilized because we want more people from this community to join our register nursing program. You only have a few people who have joined. We want you to come and join the register nursing program. Why is that important? When this hospital is completed, we'll have jobs for many, many persons. And we don't want to import those persons and bring them in here. What we want to do is utilize persons who are living here and in the surrounding areas. So in preparing for that, we can use this telemedicine site, and we can teach you over the internet how to be a nurse. So you can come here, this hospital can be converted part-time into a school where you can come and you can get training on the internet, because you can connect here on the internet, and we'll train you. All the modules for that register nursing program is online. All you have to do is register now. We'll give you a stipend while you are in training, and when you complete training, you will have a job with the government of Guyana, and your starting salary would be a minimum of $169,000. Isn't that a good thing? In addition to that, we also have the nursing assistance program. And again, this is a shorter program for 1 year, so we want more people to be involved in this program. We also have the community health workers program. And this program, you'll have to come in, we'll teach you for 6 months, and then we'll supervise you for the additional 6 months in your community. But again, you'll be working in your community and delivering health services for your community. While we have been doing that, over the last couple of years, between 2020 to 2024, we have been working and training people, but we haven't been able to train enough. But just earlier this year, I was in this region, and we went to Madhya, and we graduated 34 community health workers that are now back in the community and serving people in those respective community. And I was able to meet one of them when we went to Ittabak. And when the new health center that would be opening up not far from Ittabak, they were telling me that while they were able to train one, they want to have other people trained, and we are willing to train those persons as well. And I'm sure in the surrounding villages here that you would like persons to be trained. So what we want is for you to identify those persons, and we'll ensure that they are well trained. We have trained 8 midwives for this region, but that is not enough. We want to train many more, and I think we have space to train at least 20 more midwives for this region. So as you identify people, we'll work with you to make sure that they get training. We have trained so far 5 medexes, and they have come back to the region. But we want more people to be trained from this region as medexes, because when they are in a far-flung community, they would be able to offer the services to the people there. So identify your young people, and I would make sure that they have a space on the MEDEX program so that, you know, they can come back and serve you. We are now looking, because with this new hospital, we would need people who can do x-rays. We'll need people who can do CT scans. We'll need people who can manage a laboratory. And we will want those persons to come from you. So these are all jobs that are going to become available as this new hospital come into being. My friends, this government, this president is committed to the development of the people of Guyana. And one way that we can develop the people of our country is to make sure that we invest in their health care. For the first time, we are now implementing a school health program. Never happened before. When we talk about school health, what we used to do, we used to go into the school and hold a little talk and talk about health. Today, it is much different. We are coming into every school. We are not only talking to the children, but we are ensuring that every child get their vaccines so that they can be protected from various types of diseases. And by doing that, these diseases would not affect them in the future. But one challenge that we have is that we are seeing among our women that cervical cancer is the #2 cancer among women in our country. And in some of our interior locations, we are seeing that the prevalence is higher than other parts of Guyana. But this is a cancer that we can prevent. This is a cancer that if you take an HPV vaccine, we can prevent this cancer from happening. These vaccines are available across this region. And I want you, the parents who are here, the community leaders who are here, I want you to ensure that any child between the ages of 9 and 15 who have not received their HPV vaccine, that you will work with us to ensure that every child between these ages would get their HPV vaccine. Can we do that? Yes. Can we do that? Yes. Because this is important for us to prevent cancer from happening. Then one of the things that the president put in this year's budget is to ensure that every woman between the ages of 21 to 65 can have access to an HPV test. Why is that important? That is important because if we pick up that you have cancer early and we treat it early, then you would not have complications and you would not have to die from that cancer. But again, while this test is available, we are not seeing a lot of people from the different communities taking advantage of this test. So I want that to change, because maybe you didn't know about the test, but we can change that today. So now there's no excuse, because we are telling you, and we want to make that test available in all your communities. So can we ensure that the women in our community who between the ages of 21 to 65 years of age, can we make sure that they get the test? I ain't hearing anybody. Let me hear a big yes. Can we do that? Good. So I'll make sure that the health people make the test available in every community. Then for the women between 16 to 45, you too can get the vaccine, the HPV vaccine. So if you haven't received it, please contact your healthcare worker so that we can administer that vaccine to you and protect you from cervical cancer. Can we do that too? Now, for the children, this is a program that the president insisted because he wants every child in this country, especially in this region, to grow up to be a healthy child and to live very long so that they can enjoy the prosperity that is happening in this country. So what is it that we want to do? We want to make sure that we do a checkup for every child that is going to school. That checkup would mean that we'll check their eyes. And if they're not seeing properly and they need spectacles, that this government would provide them with a pair of spectacles. And we want to go community by community, regardless of how remote it is, to ensure that we check every child's eyes and make sure that if they need spectacles, that we give them spectacles, so that when they go into the classroom, they shouldn't have an excuse that they can't see on the board. Can we do that? Apart from that, we want to make sure that we check and make sure that they're hearing properly. And if they're not hearing properly and they need a hearing aid, then this government is going to ensure that they get a hearing aid. The cost of a hearing aid is $65,000, and you will get that hearing aid for free if you have a hearing problem. And while we are doing it for the children, for the older people, if you have a problem with your hearing, we will also make sure that you get a hearing aid free of cost from this government. That has never happened before. In addition to checking the children's eyes and ears, we are going to check them out. And if they have any rotten teeth, we are also going to fix that. And we have dental teams that are going to come village by village to make sure that we fix that. This is what community health looks like. Going out to the people, finding their problems, and helping to fix the problems in their community. And that is a mandate from His Excellency the President, because he wants our communities to be healthy. But what we want is a partnership, because when we come into the communities, we want people to help us, to make sure that you are there, to make sure you bring out the community so that we can deliver these services. So can we do that when the teams are coming out, that you will be there, make sure that the whole village turn out so that we can deliver these services? I ain't hearing y'all. Good. So there are lots of good things to look forward to. And the other good program that we have, especially for the older folks, apart from checking your eyes, when we check your eyes, if you're 65 years and older, and when we check your eyes, if you need a spectacle, you will get a voucher from us worth $15,000 to make sure that it helps you in getting your spectacles. But very often when we check the old people's eyes, we are seeing that some of them have cataract. And we'll make a list of those who have cataract. And we'll pay for you, regardless of where you're living in the region. We'll pay for you. We'll bring you down to Georgetown. And we'll make sure that you get your surgery done for your cataract. And once you're okay and you're seeing well, we'll bring you back to your village. And very often, that takes less than a week for us to bring you out, take care of you, make sure you have your surgery, and then bring you back to your village. So please, if you know of any old person that got cataract, let us help them. This can be a nice Christmas gift for them so that they can see good for Christmas. Can we do that? So there are many good things that we have been working on. Many good things to improve health in the region. Many of these programs have never been done before, and we are doing it for the first time because the President has made these resources available in the budget, and that is why we are able to reach out. So please take the opportunity, because they were never there. Take the opportunity. Make sure your children can be trained. There are lots of training programs. Make sure that all these programs that we are talking about, where you can come and access it, please come out and access these programs, because they're there for you. They're there for the people of this country. So my friends, today, as I said, is a historic day for all of us. It's a day for us to celebrate all the achievements that we have accomplished together, not only in health, but in education and in so many other areas. And there are many more to come. Let's celebrate the achievements, but let's look forward to that bright future as we work together with this PPP civic government, with this president, to make that future even brighter. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Residents of Kato and the visiting community. You're listening to all the services that the government is providing, which you are gaining from, and I hope you continue to work along with the People Progressive Party. Let us continue to provide you with these services in the future. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, I would like everyone to please stand as we welcome His Excellency Dr. Mohammed Irfan Ali to the podium.
Thank you very much. Please have your seats. Thank you so much. My respected Tushao, respected regional chairman, respected leaders, my respected elders, brothers and sisters, residents here of Kato, surrounding communities, and Region 8, good morning. For this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Right? So we are ready to rejoice, for we must give thanks. You know, I'm so pleased to be here. The last 2 days I've been to different areas. Yesterday we started at Hinterland, met the community there, listened to them, listened to their priorities, and already we have taken a number of action in response to the community. Then we went to Itabac, met with the community, listened to them, listened to their concerns, listened to how pleased and happy they are for the development that is taking place. And again, we are unleashing a new series of development based on our feedback. Then last night I had the opportunity to engage this beautiful community, engage residents late last night with the Tushao, with the regional chairman, with the AREO. Then I challenged them for us to go over to visit the teachers after 10:30 last night and Tushao back down. And it was just fantastic listening to all the residents. And last night, a number of areas were raised. Today, this morning, we met with the young people and we decided that we're going to do a multi-purpose tarmac, and the people in this community, the young people, are going to build that tarmac themselves. We decided last night that we wanted to expand the water system, and we're going to give 140 tanks to the 140 families that lives here in Kato. We decided last night that we're going to connect the spring directly to the school so that the secondary school can have water coming down from the spring. We decided last night, talking to the young people, and this morning, that the contractor who will be building the hospital will engage 60 of them directly to work permanently on that project, and that the subcontractors also will come from this region. Last night, as we walked and as we talked, and we walked and we met with residents, we also listened to other key areas of priority. And this morning we met with the young people. And I said to Frank, all those who have the 5-subject CXC that want to do the nursing program, let us enroll them now. Let them do the nursing program and they will be working in this hospital. The nursing assistant program, the community health worker program, let us enroll them now. And also, on the men on mission, we have Lieutenant Colonel Edgel and Major Simpson, who will be working with the young people who have a sung secondary education and want to serve in the Army. We're going to enroll you and train you so that you can serve in the Army. And those who want to do the cadet program, we are also going to enroll you in the cadet program. So the last over 30 hours, we have been working with people in every single community. I'm so pleased here, and I want to acknowledge the presence of a number of young leaders who will be working. The regional chairman, the Tushao, they're here working. But look at your ARU. I want her to stand. Who's chairing the program? Stand. And she's coming with added population. So, you know, the Because We Care grant that was taken away from you, that the People's Progressive Party Civic brought back for your children, the Because We Care grant. She is also making sure that the future is going to be bright for her. Now, we also have the $100,000 grant that is coming to your community. But I want to recognize some other new faces that you may not know, but that will be working, young people. You're a doctor in Kato. Please stand up so they can see you. Another young man here. We're bringing the young energy in. You're a new engineer. Please stand up so they can see you in the region. Your new regional health officer. Please stand up. Not a young lady served in Monkey Mountain who will now be serving you here. This is what we are about. Bringing in the energy to propel the development in our country. Now I want to highlight a few things that the minister spoke to you about, so you may have some understanding of the magnitude of change that is taking place. If you look at the total investment in healthcare in this region, and let us look at the last 9 years. Between 2015 and 2020, the 5 years of the APNUFC government and the 4 years of our government. In that 5 years, the total investment in healthcare was less than $1.7 billion. In the last 4 years, with this new project, our total investment in 4 years is more than $10 billion. We've invested 700% more in healthcare alone in this region. And for you to understand, because many times you will ask, how is the revenue helping the people of our country? In this region, in the last 4 years, for every single resident in this region, the investment we have made in this region is more than $3 million for every single resident. When you look at what we spend on education, health, Armenian affairs, etc., we've invested more than $3 million on every man, child, baby in this region. We've invested more than $4 million, per capita. That is a magnitude of investment. In your regional budget alone, that is what we give the region, Region 8. For the entire 5 years, compared to the 4 years, you have a 72% increase in the regional budget, almost 100% increase in the regional budget. These are the real facts. This is the real story of the development that is taking place in this region. Then if you look at the Ministry of Armenian Affairs, and for our indigenous people, this is an important piece of statistics. When you look at the Ministry of Armenian Affairs, in this region alone, in the last 4 years, we have spent almost $2.7 billion from the Ministry of Armenian Affairs in Region 8. $2.7 billion. In this region alone, we have spent more money from the Ministry of Armenian Affairs than 3 years of spending under the APNUFC for all of the hinterland communities in Guyana. In this one region alone, in the last 4 years, we have spent more than what they spent in the entire country for hinterland community for 3 years. And when you look at the national figures, in the entire period of the APNUFC government, from the Ministry of Armenian Affairs, they spent less than $5.3 billion. In the last 4 years alone, we have spent $27 billion from the Ministry of Armenian Affairs alone in hinterland communities, more than 500% more. When you look out here, it is such an amazing sight. I just said to Pauline, I have never seen so much ATVs at one time. I have never seen so many ATVs gathered at one place at one time. More than 100 ATVs over the last 24 hours. This is a sign of development. It's a sign of progress. It's a sign of advancement and a sign of prosperity. And I applaud you. I want you to applaud yourself for this type of development that is taking place. So I wanted to give some context to the numbers. And let me say to my dear Tushao, last night we were going to cook very late. But, the young people had an experience in Kato. At 1 this morning, I heard some of them were looking for extra short to put on because the AC was on high. Some of them I saw went to sleep with raincoat on. They had a good welcome to Kato. And Tushao and I were laughing. I in my short pants and my t-shirt. And Tushao said, place hot, man. But I'm happy that the young people had this amazing experience with the beautiful people of Kato. And let me say this, the Tushao said, she hoped I have a very fruitful visit. Well, literally and figuratively, the visit was fruitful because she ensured I had a lot of fruits, tangerine, orange, banana, mango, all from Kato. So I had definitely a fruity visit. Now let me say that your hospital here, the Kato Hospital, I just want you to understand what you're getting. Look at this beautiful structure. And it is the same contractor that is doing the modern hospital in Georgetown that has been awarded the contract to do this beautiful facility here in Kato. And what this facility will bring to you is more than 57,000 square foot of hospital space. To give you context, your existing hospital that you have there, this hospital will be 57 times larger. 57 times larger than your existing hospital. So just look at your existing hospital and imagine 57 times larger. That is what this hospital will be. This hospital, this single hospital, this single investment is more than APNU spent for 5 years in Region 8. This one project, listen to me very carefully, this one project here is more than APNU spent, the APNU AFC spent in Region 8 for 5 years. $5.4 billion. Put your hands together to this commitment. Isn't this love? Isn't this care? I am not even telling you about the secondary school to show that we're building on Monkey Mountain. I'm not even talking about that. Just this one project. Or Kopinang. My Kobe. We care. And I want to tell you that we're not going to stop until every single citizen, every single community have equal access and same standard of service for all of you. You deserve the same level and the same standard of service that's like anyone else across the country. This new hospital at a cost of almost $6 billion, and I'm not adding the $200 million facility that we just awarded, that will be the most modern quarters for our doctors and nurses. We are building a modern quarter, $200 million for the doctors and nurses who will be serving in this hospital. This hospital will have 75 beds, 45 of which will be inpatient bed. And this is not open ward. You will have like 5 beds only in a ward. Each ward will have its own washroom, its own shower, will have its own support system. 100% first-grade hospital beds, not cots, will be part of this hospital. The duration of this project is expected to be 24 months. It will have a fully functional operating theater equipped to do, Frank just told you that we will take the people out who need cataract surgery, and we'll have to take you to Port Moran. Well, I have news for you. In this hospital, they will be able to do cataract surgery right here in this hospital, right here in Region 8. And now, at midnight, we would get the call. We need an emergency medevac to come in because someone who's getting baby needs a C-section. The regional health officer will have to organize. We spend hundreds of millions of dollars on this. Guess what? This new hospital operating theater will be able to do all your C-section surgery right here in Kato. It will be done. You will have a modern ER with a procedure room for minor surgeries. You'll have diagnostic imaging services, what that means. Long ago, Tushao, everybody walking around with a big white envelope. The whole country know when you just do an x-ray because they got a big white envelope and you're walking around with it. This new hospital would have digital x-ray. You will now have the most modern x-ray equipment, digital x-ray. But guess what? You will also have here in Region 8 and Kato CT scans done right here. Historically, you had to wait 8 months, 7 months to have your CT scan done. With this hospital, you will have your CT scans done immediately right here in Region 8. You will have a full lab with all the services. You'll have an outpatient department with specialized services. You'll have a modern pharmacy delivering pharmaceutical services to you. But guess what, my dear brothers and sisters? To show you how we love you, how we love every community, every village, every single citizen. We love you, the indigenous people, like we love anyone else. You will also have in this new hospital a dialysis center, so a dialysis facility and dialysis will be able to done. You'll be able to do it right here at this new hospital. You will have a digital health control room. You know, when I see all these modern services, I was saying to myself, you know, I don't mind going into the hospital now, but none of us ever want to go there. But if we have to go, at least we are comforted by the fact that we have the best facilities to take care of us. You have also the digital health control room, pediatric services. Not only pediatric services, we are building here in this new hospital an NICU that will be able to take care of the most complex needs of our little babies when they come into this world. You'll have an ICU, an HDU, and of course, a modern maternity unit. These are some of the facilities that this brand new facility will bring to you here in this region. So my dear friends, you have heard it all, but this region is exploding with development. And we want all of you to be a part of this. And to ensure that we continue on this journey, we have to ensure that the People's Progressive Party Civic continue to be that party, that government that delivers to you every single day. Every single thing we promise in the manifesto, we have delivered, and we are delivering more than we promised in the manifesto to all of you and all of Region 8. So my dear friends, standing here is indeed an honor and a privilege. The breathtaking scenery of Kato, it is impossible for us not to marvel at the beauty of this region. The towering mountain range, the expansive open areas, the lush greenery, and the tranquility of Kato reminds us of why Guyana is a living and natural paradise. These scenery are an important reminder to us of the beauty we behold, the natural heritage we are blessed with, and the beautiful people we are, representing the beautiful environment that we were gifted with. Kato is not just a place on a map. It is a gem of natural splendor, home to resilient people who embody the spirit of a great nation. Today, as we gather in this beautiful setting, we stand on the cusp of a transformative moment, one that promises to uplift not just Kato, but the entire Region 8. Kato's stunning natural beauty, with its pristine landscape and rich biodiversity, holds immense potential to become a thriving hub for ecotourism, attracting visitors from around the world seeking authentic and sustainable experiences. By showcasing its natural beauty and unique cultural heritage, Kato can position itself as a destination of choice for nature lovers while creating jobs and generating income for the local community. But for all of this to happen, we have to build an ecosystem that includes proper health care, proper education, good infrastructure, a good airstrip, and good facilities that would enable the development of the sector. And that is why these development, these investments are not just standalone. They're a critical link to the overall health of the economy here in Kato and the wider Region 8. For this potential to be realized, therefore, strategic investments are essential, whether it's in communication, healthcare, connectivity, and that is why we are building the roads. We have just awarded the contract to do the road connecting Region 8 with Region 9, so that you will have a smoother, more efficient connection, and through that road, you'll be connected to the new Linden Lethem Highway that we are building, the more than 42 bridges that are completed, and Carl told me today the good news that the Pirara Bridge is now also completed, so that is an important added investment. At the same time as we make these investments, they will also boost confidence in the level of service of the region here, Region 8, and all of the communities. The hinterland is the heart of Guyana, home to our indigenous brothers and sisters and communities that have long been the stewards of this land. For too long, these communities have faced challenges that we in the People's Progressive Party Civic have addressed consistently and continuously. Healthcare is not a privilege. It is a fundamental right. The people of Kato and its neighboring communities deserve nothing less than the best. And there are many on the opposition benches who will question investment like this. They ask us, why are you spending so much money on an investment like this when the population is so small? We say to them that for us, regardless of the size, the people who live there, or the location, they are entitled to the same quality of investment and development like anyone else on the coast or anywhere else. This transition from a modest cottage hospital to a planned state-of-the-art medical facility represent a seismic shift in the way healthcare will be delivered in this region. For decades, the cottage hospital provided basic medical services, important work, but undoubtedly would have undoubtedly saved lives, but was limited in scope and capacity, as Dr. Anthony would have alluded. With the construction of this modern hospital here in Kato, those days of limitations will be over. The Kato Hospital will provide 24-hour high-quality service and care to the people here in Region 8. And not only Region 8, all the other miners and all of those who work within the ecosystem of Region 8. This hospital, as I said, would also have a 24-hour emergency service, emergency room, like any other hospital across the country. So today, as we break ground, we're not just turning the sun, we're turning the page of a new chapter in the story of Kato and the people of Region 8. This hospital symbolizes progress, equality, and hope. It shows what is possible with a genuinely caring government, with an administration that is built on policies that are people-centered, policies that care about the people, care about their future, policies that prioritize the needs of the people over every other need. It tells of a government that is caring and one that is committed to delivering every day to the people of our country. And that is the People's Progressive Party civic government. Today, in your region, we can celebrate many things. Whether it's the billions of dollars that was extracted out of your children's pockets when the last government took away the Because We Care grant that the People's Progressive Party restored, whether it's the increase in pension, whether it's all the different grants that we give, but most of all, we celebrate the ability in which you can all aspire, the young people, the human resource asset, can now all aspire to be the best they can be and the best they want to be right here in Region 8, because we are investing to give them the opportunity to be the best they can be, like any other young Guyanese anywhere else in Guyana. And that, for me, is the most important aspect of the investment we are making, the development of our human capital. So today, my dear brothers and sisters, it is with great honor and pride that I join the team from the Ministry of Health, and I want to applaud the team for putting together this fantastic program. And let me say, this is the first time we have not had to complain about the microphone. And I will always remember that it took a trip out to Kato in Region 8 to fix our microphone problems. So thank you very much. We're going to sit together after this. Of course, Tushao, you and the villagers invited me to have a meal with you. I'm definitely going to do that. I heard that you cook, but Frank, I need hearing aid. I hear wrong? But today, let us enjoy this moment. Let us rejoice in this moment. For in everything we must give the Lord thanks. And in everything we must recognize that the gift of life is a gift that none of us control, but that supreme being that allow us to see and enjoy another day and live to see and enjoy another day in the progress and development of our country. May we also remember that it is this People's Progressive Party civic government that consistently stands with you and by you in the interests of you and your communities. Thank you, and God bless all of you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I will now invite Ms. Sherry Balkaran. She will be giving the vote of thanks on behalf of Kato and the neighboring communities.
Thank you very much. His Excellency Dr. Irfan Ali, Minister of Amerindian Affairs, Pauline Sukai, none other than Pauline Sukai, Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, PSs, our dear Ario Ramatar, Tushao of Kato Village, a pleasant good afternoon to everyone. On behalf of more than 9,800 plus persons residing in the North Pacaraimans, the Makushi Nation, we would like to say thank you so, so much for this great project that the PPP government is embarking on. We're very, very happy for this project. We are grateful that this will benefit all of us here in the North Pacaraimans. And as the president mentioned, not only the people living in the north, but passers-by. And we are very thankful for that. This is no ordinary hospital, but a hospital that is well equipped. And we are very grateful for that. And this is one of our many dreams. We wanted this so badly that we were internally arguing where this project should be. But at this moment in time, it's not where it is, but what purpose it will be having for our people. We are grateful for this, and we are very thankful. And I would like all of us to clap and say thank you to this government. And you know, I would like to say thank you not only for this project that he is here to talk to us about. He did not send anyone to tell us, but he came himself, which is to show that he is a president not talking alone, but for the people. He's here to meet with the people, like what our minister does, Minister Pauline Sukai, like what our REO does. That is the officers that you have working within our region and working within our government. We are happy that the Minister of Health himself is also here. I would like to say thank you once more again, not only for this project here, but we would also like to say thank you for the many projects that are happening big in Region 8. It's evident the secondary schools, not only the secondary schools, what about the buildings that the health minister would have made mention of, which is the health posts and the different health facilities that they're renovating and they're trying to enhance in many ways. We would like to say thank you for those things. We would also like to say thank you. The Patamuna Makushi Nation would like to say thank you for the cash grant that we're going to get very soon. Say, clap your hands, what is wrong with you? Say thank you. You know, and as the president was saying, in everything give thanks. Whoever you are, as long as you fall under that criteria, you are eligible for the 100,000. So let's be grateful for that. And I would like to say thank you for the future, because I know good things are going to happen in the future. And not forgetting Paramakatoy. On behalf of the residents, almost approximately 3,000 persons, we are inviting you, Mr. President, to visit our village, because we want you, we need to see you too. You are our father, and we would like to see you in Paramakatoy. So Bamboo Creek, Bashville, and the residents at Paramakatoy, we're inviting you there, and sooner than later, because you went to Itabak, you came here, you went to Monkey, we're happy, yes, but we need you. So in advance, we're saying thank you for his visit. So please clap Paramakatoy people. So on behalf, once more again, the people living in Paramakatoy and all the other villages, thank you so much. Our minister visits us, our REO visits us, but we would like you to visit us. Paramakatoy. Yes. Another thing, I would like to say thank you to Kato Village Council, the Tushaw of Kato. Thank you so much for this great work. It's not an easy task. With your councillors backing you, as well as your hard-working residents, thank you so much to the Kato Village Council. I would like to say thank you to the technical team, the presidential technical team. These people are standing outside, security, the policemen, and whoever, the camera guys, whoever. Thank you so much, because what you're doing, without you, things would not go well. So we are grateful and happy for what you're doing. Continue to be dedicated to your service. Also, to villages that came today, this morning, thank you so much for coming. It means a lot to us. So you're here not just to be part, but you're here to carry back the good news too. Just don't have it with yourself, but go back to your villages and let them know what the president said. I hope you guys took notes. Go back to your villages. Thank you so much for coming. The drivers, our ATV riders, drivers, thank you so much for coming. The contractors and every person that is present here, we would like to say thank you to the cooks in the background. Thank you so much. And thank you to the residents of Kato once more again for your great protection. Because remember, when the president is here, we would have to protect him. We have to oversee. We have to look out for him. And another thing, you know, I was listening to him when he said that there are going to be many persons from Kato who will be employed to work in this facility. Now, I am talking to all of us, including myself. We have to be dedicated to our people because he is not bringing persons from outside. He probably would bring. We need to care, respect, love our own people, and as such, be dedicated in our service. So all of us must be dedicated when we are executing our duties, because the government of Guyana is giving us this facility, but what we have to do, we have to show our part too. We have to be dedicated on time, the way interpersonal communication, communicating with patients, all of that. I need to take this time to let all of us know we have to be dedicated to our people, despite of who they are, despite of where they're coming from, despite of their status. We need to care and be humble and medical people, doctors, nurses, because this is a serious thing happening here. So once again, thank you so much to everyone who came. And as when you're going back to your villages, don't ride like if you're flying. Please take your time because you're carrying back our loved ones. So once again, thank you so much. And with all what he is saying here, did you hear what he said? We are doing this, we are doing that. What does it mean? That you now would have to vote PPP to give him another chance. That is what he is saying. That is what the president is saying. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Valkaran. At this time, we're now going to have the turning of the soil.
Charger, Antonio, cable, right. I wasn't sure who. Vince got it there. Thanks.
And are we playing from there?
Maisha.